Hello, welcome to my channel. In this episode, I will be reviewing an African violet called Jolly Cupid. It was hybridized by Hortense Pittman. She's the author of many beautiful African violet varieties, including those in the Jolly series. This variety, Jolly Cupid, was registered with the African Violet Society of America in 2011 under the registration number 10,444. I received it as a young plant from Tropical World Nursery last year, in November of 2019. And here is what it looked like on the day when it arrived. The weather was getting really cold at that time in November, and it got some frostbite during shipping all the way from Florida to Southern California, but eventually I nursed it back to life. And this is the first blooming cycle, and I wanted to share it with you today. I also propagated a couple of leaves from the plant when it arrived as a backup, and here is the baby that grew out of those backup leaves, and it's also starting the first blooming cycle now. So it's a very easy variety to propagate and to grow. It's a happy little plant. Jolly Cupid is a miniature variety of African violets. And African violet miniatures grow up to 6 inches in diameter of the rosette across a single crown. Being a young plant, it currently has reached 4 inches across, so this is a true miniature. And it is currently growing in a 2-ounce condiment cup. It's about 2 inches across. And African violet miniatures need no more than a 2 or 2.5 inch pot. Jolly Cupid has medium green and yellow crown variegation, which complements the bloom color in a beautiful way with its golden specks on the green background. This plant is, as I mentioned, in the middle of its first blooming cycle, and it currently has 6 bloom stalks, which are gradually opening up the blooms. The flowers of Jolly Cupid are described as single and semi-double dark blue pansies. Most of the blooms on this plant are semi-double, because there is at least one more petal here in addition to the 5 main petals of a single bloom, and these blooms are called semi-double. The color is dark blue and it has some purple hue in it, so it contrasts very nicely with the yellow crown variegation. The flowers are about 1 inch to 1.5 inches in diameter, and here they are in comparison to a dime coin. They are very nice sized blooms. And for the first blooming cycle, it appears to be rather a prolific bloomer. I'm growing this plant in my living room near the west facing window, so it gets some natural light in the afternoon through a sheer curtain, and also some LED lights, which is a combination of 2 T8 bulbs of 6500K and 3000K. The temperature in my growing environment is in the 70s right now. It's 75 degrees Fahrenheit and the humidity is 46%, and I try to maintain it in the range of the 50 to 60%, so this is a little bit low, but still okay. As long as it doesn't drop below 40, my African violets are okay with that. It grows on a wick, like most of my other African violets, especially miniature varieties. Most of them, with the exception of a few, are grown on wicks. It helps me save time when I need to water them, because I don't need to second guess myself how much water each of the plants needs. So they just draw as much moisture as they need through the wick. And as a wicking liquid, I use plain tap water with some fertilizer added to it. I alternate two different types of fertilizers. One is called Dynagrow liquid plant food at the 7:9:5 ratio of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, and it has some helpful microelements that help African violets grow healthy and strong. And I use 1/4 teaspoon per gallon of water of this fertilizer. And sometimes instead of Dynagrow, I use a balanced fertilizer with the equal proportions of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. And the fertilizer that I use is called Jack's Classic All-Purpose Water-Soluble Plant Food with Micronutrients. And it has the 20-20-20 NPK ratio. And also some microelements such as copper, iron, manganese, and zinc. Now in the summertime, when it gets really warm, I give my violets a break from fertilizing and I just use plain water. Especially now in the heat wave in the month of August, I decided that they need to rest a little bit and just have some plain water. But as you can see, they are still blooming. So they're just being happy campers, I guess. So here it is again, Jolly Cupid by Hortense Pittman. If you like miniature varieties with nice blue colored blooms and golden crown variegation, this is a plant for you. Thank you all so very much for watching. Stay safe and be well. And I hope I will see you again. If you haven't subscribed yet, and if you'd like to stay tuned to my future videos, please subscribe